I'm John Leonard. I'm a corporate lawyer with Fairfield and Woods in Denver, Colorado. Our law firm is doing a series of videos on where the law intersects your personal and business life. There are videos on how to set up a business, how to raise money, how to sell your business, as well as various litigation videos. Wills and trusts are covered as well. Today, we're talking employment law with Adrian Castro, one of my partners, as well as we'll get into some general commercial litigation topics as well. But let's focus in on one of the hot topics you brought up was when you terminate an employee or an employee leaves voluntarily, what's the process to exit that employee? And specifically, let's zero in on wages, but let's assume I call you, I'm a employee or employer, and I say, I'm going to get rid of John Leonard today. What's the advice that you're giving? And then let's zero in on the wage end of that. So.
Good morning, John. Well, one of the issues I've seen with wages in particular is the failure to pay wages timely upon a separation of employment. And I'll get into what wages mean, because I think that's an important consideration.
Sure. What are wages?
Well, wages aren't just the salary, what's outstanding, what they haven't, the time that they haven't been paid for, but it's also stuff like accrued vacation time, accrued PTO. And there was a misconception for a number of years that you didn't have to pay out vacation time that was unused or PTO because it was built into his policy. But a few years back, and since then, the Supreme Court issued a decision in the case, essentially saying that anything that was vested as part of the employment relationship, including vacation time and wages, had to be paid out at the moment of separation. That would also include, for example, stock options, other items that are part of the employment compensation package. And what we see is that employers aren't paying that necessarily. They think that these old policies and procedures might still apply. And the problem with non-payment of wages is the penalties associated with that. You have different multipliers here. It can be that you're paying as a penalty to the employee, not just the wages, the missed compensation, but another 100% of that as a penalty. If you acted in bad faith, for example, it could be up to 200%. You have to pay their attorney's fees. So those are considerations that have to be taken into account by an employer when they go through the process of separating an employer or when an employee resigns.
Now, people can call you. Obviously, your clients call you when they're terminating somebody. But once we've formed the attorney-client relationship, clients can come into the office. You can do a Zoom call. You can just get on the phone. Clients or prospective clients don't have to do this alone. You can advise people before they might do something that's against the law.
That's correct. A quick phone call can save you thousands.
Right.
You talk to me for 15 minutes. We work through the problem. We come up with a solution. That's literally a fraction of the price associated with violating the law. Because there are plaintiffs' attorneys that do this on a contingency fee basis. They're aggressive and they want their attorney's fees paid and they know that you violated it. And now you're looking at penalties and fees for another attorney, not just your own. And again, that could easily equal tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the type of the violation, how many employees were subjected to it. Whereas a quick phone call could have solved the problem.
Sure. What about, we have a lot of technology clients and they have unlimited vacation. How does that work with payment of PTO?
Well, that's the good thing with those types of plans. Because there's unlimited, essentially there's none, is the way that you handle it.
Okay.
So when an employee separates, you don't owe them anything because they had unlimited PTO. Now, I do put an asterisk on that. There's always an asterisk when it comes to the law, right? And that is if you have unlimited, but the reality is you get 2 weeks, then the courts would look at it to see if that 2 weeks is sort of vested.
And when you say in reality, that's just the culture.
Correct.
Okay.
You can
Don't go over 2 weeks.
if you go over 2 weeks, you're fired, or you're not going to get promoted, or there's going to be some negative repercussion, or like you point out, the culture. So yes, you could have these unlimited PTO policies, but if they're not truly unlimited, then you're opening yourself up to potential issues from a wage claim perspective.
All right, well, we just covered failure to pay wages on termination or exit for an employee. You can call Adrian before you make a mistake and save potentially tens of thousands of dollars. So we urge you to do that.
Before. Yes.
Yeah, call before. We have a series of videos on our website. Please check it out. And we're talking with Adrian Castro today about employment law as well as some commercial litigation concepts. Thanks for joining us.